Hey there, welcome back to Motorcycle Test Kitchen, where today we're going to talk about saddlebags. Saddlebags, panniers, side cases, whatever you want to call them. I got a new one and I want to tell you about it. And the reason that I did this in the first place is because I want to be able to take some day trips and maybe even some weekend trips on my Indian FTR 1200S, which as you may know has a high exhaust, so you can't really put a throwover on it. Now Indian makes a rack that they have available, two bags, a messenger bag and kind of a touring bag, I guess they call it. So what I want to be able to do is take off for the weekend with my laptop, because I'm always working, to be able to put a camera in there, a couple of changes of clothes, and some layers, my rain gear, a thermal layer if it gets cold, that kind of thing, or to be able to take a layer off if it starts off cold in the morning and goes to the evening. So I looked at other soft bags that can mount to a rack system, and what I settled on was the Round the World Pannier from Giant Loop. I've got one right here, and you notice I say I've got one, and that's because due to the, like I said, the high exhaust on the Indian, I'm not getting one on the other side without it being stuck way out into traffic, basically, where this is fairly compact, yet still bigger than the touring bag that Indian makes. Plus, I think this has a little more adventure cred. Giant Loop makes absolutely fantastic products. I have bought a number of them over the years, including big dry bag duffel bags. My tank bag is a Giant Loop, and they have just other small stuff that I've gotten here and there that either I use all the time to keep things compact and dry on my motorcycle, or I end up giving them away. That's what I did with both of my big duffels. This is the Round the World Pannier, and it's got three main pockets. So first of all, it's got a handle on top right there. It says Giant Loop, rubberized, very easy. It's a nice light bag. It's got some stuff in it. I'll show you what all that stuff is in a bit. We've got the tag, Made in USA flag, and the buckle system. To open it up, you just open up the buckles, and here's where you can see there's straps where you can put other stuff in here, stuff that would be exposed. Like for instance, if you're me and you want to travel with a tripod for your camera, that's where it would go. And then it's got a roll top closure that buckles on each side. That helps keep the water out. And then it opens up, and at the top, there's a magnet to close, keep it closed, just to keep it from flapping open. Listen. Magnet. And then these are Velcro. And down in here is where we've got all the stuff that comes, or that came with mine. So we'll see what all this stuff is here in a second. Oh, and there's one more thing. Listen, this is important. Because we're putting it on a rack and not using it as a throwover, it's got a hard backing plate made out of some kind of magic hard plastic. So this is all the pieces. We'll start from the motorcycle out. This is their universal, Giant Loop's universal rack, mounting rack for the Round the World Panniers and other things that Giant Loop makes. It's a very simple system. It's got two rack clips here and a third that secures at the top, and it's got a little lock on it too that you go click and it locks right in place, and then you can't open this up. So that'll stay, not only prevent it from coming off the motorcycle while you're riding, but it also prevents people from messing with your stuff. So this is, I'm guessing, aluminum, die cut, precision cut. Let's see, it says Pannier mounts designed in Bend, Oregon, made in China, which probably makes sense. I doubt they have the CNC machinery in the Giant Loop's facilities to make this in Oregon. So it's a very simple mount. It's very flexible, so it'll fit all kinds of racks. Now I cheated a little bit. I've already had this out, and mounted it, figured out where the hooks needed to be to mount it on my Indian. So that's a little bit cheating, but I'll show you why later in the video. And then this secures inside a flap inside the bag. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna burn holes through the back of the bag for the 6 mounting points here that match up to the mounting points on here. And then this bolts to the bag, this bolts the bag to the rack, and then the whole thing comes off as one unit. Unclip, lift, and go. So this is all the hardware, including the key, which we're going to test out right now because that has to be unlocked for and it just goes click, right? Did I break it? Oh, no, it comes out inside the key. So you gotta be used to that. And then that has to be all the way down. The latch has to be all the way down for it to latch. Then the rest of it's a bunch of nuts and bolts. There's a thumb screw that secures one of the clips. I think you probably really only need one to, and I noticed this because actually when I put this on my motorcycle, the back one rattled just a little bit because the hook is just a little bit bigger than the tube. And this will definitely take up that extra little bit of space and tighten it up on that rack. Then the rest of the hardware lets you mount. There's washers, nuts, and nylon bolts for security. Oops, forgot the key. Put the key back in the bag. And this is this is a waterproof bag. So Giant Loop doesn't say that the Round the World Pannier is waterproof. It is extremely, like almost all of their other products, extremely water resistant. Having said that, I have never had anything inside one of my Giant Loop bags that they say is water resistant get wet. But this is a waterproof bag that you can use to put things inside and then down inside your pannier to absolutely keep them dry. So that'll come in handy. And then if you were mounting without the rack, this rack, if you were mounting this to another type of rack that's not supplied by Giant Loop, you would use this to figure out where your drill points needed to be on your bag for your motorcycle. So I won't need this, but they sent it anyways. And then I've got the mounting instructions for the pannier rack mount, which has instructions on how to mount the Round the World panniers to it. And then this is the Round the World panniers instructions. So, which also shows you how to mount it and gives you a lot of different instructions. The one thing that I'm a little nervous about when it comes to assembling all this and mounting it is that you have to burn holes in the back of the pannier with a hot soldering iron or a heated up nail or something like that. And that's because if you just cut the tarp material, the nylon material that they use to make the pannier, then it could rip. So anytime you do something like cut a strap or put a hole in it, you have to cauterize it. You have to burn it so that it doesn't migrate like a crack on your windshield. So it's hard to see because this is black, but it's a pretty big bag. It'll hold a good bit of stuff. Certainly it'll hold a small laptop, a 15-inch laptop and some clothes and stuff. There's also 2 other pockets on the bag. One here with a drawstring for if you want to put like water or a fuel can right there. And that secures nice and snug. And then there's another roll top bag here that you could put sunglasses or, you know, your wallet, phone, whatever, if you're concerned about something getting wet while you're out riding around. And you just roll those down, clip them closed, and they're highly water resistant. This looks to me like about as big as a fairly bulky messenger bag, a satchel. So I brought in my Jesse case. This is the usual saddlebag side case that I keep on my R1200 GS. And you can see that it's a good bit bigger than the Round the World Pannier. So obviously this is going to hold more stuff, but the motto of Giant Loop is go light, go far, go fast. That I might have the order messed up, but that's the gist of it. So the bigger the bags, the less likely you are to pack light. I can get a lot of stuff into this case. This case, I'm not going to be able to get as much stuff in, which is going to make me think more about what I pack and be a little more conscientious about what I'm taking. You don't want to overload your motorcycle, so this will help avoid that. This weighs, I'd be surprised if this empty bag without the plastic board in the back of it, I'd be surprised if this weighs more than a pound or a pound and a half. This big old Jesse case probably weighs 6 or 8 pounds on its own.
That's the end of the unboxing. I wanted to give you an idea what the whole thing looks like when it's installed on the Indian FTR 1200. So that's what you're looking at here, and just kind of giving you a little view around. Now, I didn't record my assembly of the bag to the mounting plate because I was incredibly nervous burning the holes in it. But I want to direct you to another YouTube video from Giant Loop themselves. Harold, the guy who owns and runs and came up with Giant Loop, made a video called How to Install Giant Loop's Round the World Panniers. And I'll put that link in the description. Thanks again for watching this unboxing video of sorts. And I hope you come back and watch more Motorcycle Test Kitchen videos. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all of those things are important to all of us who make these videos and do all these kinds of things that we do. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. This has been Motorcycle Test Kitchen. Take it easy.